When he was selected as the 7th overall pick in 2014, experts said his climb to the majors would be brief. Others said he was already prepared to face big league hitters. From LSU to Lehigh Valley, the right-hander from the Bayou passed every test. On the 411th day since he was drafted, Aaron Nola has arrived. When Aaron Nola arrived yesterday at Citizens Bank Park, he said he was ready to go. Well, tonight, about 40 minutes ago, he was ready to go to work and begin stretching for his first major league start. All right, admitted around the Delaware Valley, you have brought his name up half a dozen times, maybe a dozen times since the first of the year. Aaron Nola era here in Philadelphia begins tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Matt Stairs. We saw him for the first time in spring training this year against the New York Yankees, and he looked rather effective. And now Aaron Nola will step it up a notch as he faces the Tampa Bay Rays in his major league debut. A little more than 400 days, Matt, since he was drafted.
By the way, I've mentioned it 3 dozen times. This guy here, he goes out, and what was so impressive, we saw him in spring training, he throws strikes. 18 walks this year. He has command of his fastball, his curveball, his changeup. In spring training, I saw his changeup and his curveball. I thought his fastball was unbelievable how he could spot it real well. He's been working on his curveball. It's not as big as it was before. It has a little bigger bite to it. Front door sinker. Everything he throws moves. His changeup has the same motion of his fastball. Seems like he doesn't throw a lot of four-seam fastballs, but he has a very good two-seam fastball, and he loves to throw inside.
Well, he will become the third top 10 pick from a year ago to make his major league debut this year. There's been one other who made his major league debut last year with the Kansas City Royals. And what does he get? Well, he gets a chance to sit down with Murph, which he did yesterday in preparation for today's starts.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, here with Phil's starting pitcher, Aaron Nola. That's got a nice ring to it, does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Take us through the emotions when you found out that you were getting the call up, going to pitch here at Citizens Bank Park and make your major league debut.
It was pretty awesome. It's something I've always dreamed of to be a major leaguer and play here. And it's really surreal. Just being in the locker room with a lot of those veteran guys that I looked up to and grew up watching.
I know you got a real nice welcome from a lot of those guys when you walked into the clubhouse today. Now, these are guys you were around in spring training, but that had to feel pretty good. Tell us how that was when you walked into the clubhouse on Monday.
Yeah, they really were welcoming, and pretty much everybody. When I sat down, when I walked in the clubhouse, they came up and said hi and congratulations. So it was pretty cool to hear from them and talk to them a little bit.
When you were introduced a year ago after the draft, the buzz was he's on a fast track. He's going to be in the big leagues probably sooner rather than later. You still had to go out and perform at the minor league level, which you did. Are you surprised that you're here at this point, or is this pretty much what you expected?
Well, I was just trying to take it step by step, and wherever they had me pitch, just go out there and pitch the best of my ability.
I know, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of folks in the stands here at Citizens Bank Park on Tuesday night. Tell us a little bit about who's going to come and how difficult it was to kind of rally the troops. You had a couple days to think about it, but who's all going to be here?
I have about 20 family members coming, so I have a good crew of family coming, and I'm really glad they get to come and just experience this whole thing and be in the ballpark, and just glad to get to see them tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have told you inside that clubhouse, but certainly go out and enjoy yourself, and best of luck in your major league debut.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Tom, let's send it back to you.
All right, Murph, we appreciate it very much. It will be Aaron Nola making his 19th professional start of the season, his first in the big leagues. And, Nathan Carnes will start for the Tampa Bay Rays. Lineups and first pitch when we return. His brother Austin is playing in a minor league game with the Miami Marlins at AAA. And he'll get updates after the game when he watches it. Let's take a look at the first lineup he'll face from the Rays. Brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Jaso leads it off in left field. Souza Jr. is in right field, batting second, just off the DL. Then Longoria and Loney, Forsythe, Kiermaier, Elmore, Rivera, and Carnes. And they will face the 22-year-old from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was 7-3 in AA. He was 3-1 in AAA. His last start was last Thursday for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. And he's ready to go. The first major league pitch for Aaron Nola is just a bit low. So we're underway. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. It's amazing. A guy that was drafted a year ago, how much anticipation has followed this right-hander from Louisiana. On the inside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I thought you were going to say it's amazing how he threw a ball already.
Well, you saw 92 miles an hour. Aaron Nola, as you'll see from Matt's scouting report in just a little bit, will top off probably about 94, as he's a bit low there. Speaking of the scouting report.
There's the scouting report. 89 to 93 miles an hour. 3-pitch pitcher. Very good control. AA and AAA this year. 109 to third innings. Only 18 free passes.
2 balls, 1 strike, and that one's hit out toward right center field, and it's going to split the gap and go off the scoreboard. So John Jaso is going to pull into second with his 4th double of the year. So he's in scoring position to start the game. So here's Steven Souza Jr., who is just off the disabled list. They thought he'd come off yesterday. He is the Rays' leader in home runs with 15, but he's hitting just .210. They acquired him this past offseason from the Washington Nationals. Nola's first pitch sneaks in there for a strike. It's 0-1. I think what we saw during spring training is what you pointed out during the open, Matt, that every pitch he throws, there's movement.
There is. That's why I think he doesn't throw a lot of four-seam fastballs. He relies on that arm angle.
Another strike, and it's 0-2. You see 94. When he was pitching in college, there were those that said that he would top off at 97, but apparently those were erratic reports. 94 is generally the neighborhood he was in. No balls, 2 strikes. And there's a call. Strike 3. The first strikeout of Aaron Nola's career is a beauty. Right to the outside part of the plate. And they'll keep that baseball.
Very good location right at the knees. And one thing with Nola's arm slot, a lot of times you think the baseball is going to be lower than it is. And it actually has a little bit of rise to it. I think those first 3 pitches right there, it kind of froze him a little bit.
Andres Blanco coming over, a word of advice with the runner at second base. Blanco starting at third tonight for Maikel Franco. Here's Evan Longoria, who was 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. Hitting .266, 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. There's the curveball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
That's the pitch right there that I want to see how he is thrown this year. Spring training had that big loop to it, and the scouting report has it's a little tighter and not as big.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Well, what Joe Jordan, the Phillies farm director, has told us is that it might be big the first time he throws it to a hitter, but then he'll tighten it up the second time he throws it.
This is that good old fastball right here. Glorious swung underneath it. So basically he's adding and subtracting off his curveball.
Yeah, it seems that way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. It's got that natural rise to the fastball. We mentioned just 22 years old, drafted twice, once by the Jays in the 22nd round out of high school, and then of course by the Phillies last year in the 7th round, or with the 7th pick. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just missed. Wait, I think the fans have been looking forward to this. He's fortunate, though, that it did miss where it did.
Yeah. And this curveball right here, you will see a lot of them because he gets underneath it. Doesn't have that big snapdragon across. It backs up on him a lot. Throw him the high cheese.
Throws him a curve, and he gets him. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away.
Nice delivery, getting on top of the ball. Tight rotation. Well in front, you can see the parents right there. Very excited.
Must be an incredible feeling. James Loney's now the hitter. Loney 0 for 4 last night. Jaso leads off second. Fastball in there. It's 0-1. There has to be some kind of an adrenaline rush for Nola, although this is where we've been told his fastball would sit toward the top end. Runs it inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Changeup, first one of the night, 1-2. He's going to need that if he's going to be effective in the big leagues to go along with a fastball and a curveball. And now the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it back to the screen. All right, Matt, time for the Nissan keys to the game.
Well, Nola, have fun and relax. I mean, you can tell he's having a good time out there. He's relaxed after the first hitter. Now, I'd say the Phillies keep playing with energy. Last 4 games, they've played with a lot of energy, being aggressive on the base paths, so keep it going. By the way, the first key, have fun and relax. It's easier said than done.
I'm with you on that.
But I thought it sounded good at the time, so I typed it.
Great reactions from the crowd. You can hear them with each ball that's not called a strike by Ted Barrett, the crew chief. Watch the reactions behind home plate. Yeah, I think a lot of people felt the same way. 2-2. Chopper right side. He's going to get out of his first inning. Cesar Hernandez throws to first in time. A very nice beginning for Aaron Nola. It took 18 pitches, but he's gotten through it. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position, and now everybody can decompress. Make sure you vary your times to the plate and the looks out at second base. Pretty good start for him, though. Now the Phils offense try to get him some runs. Let's take a look at their lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It'll be Herrera, Galvis, and Hernandez, followed by Ryan Howard, Cody Ashe, and Dominic Brown. Andres Blanco's at third, batting seventh. Rupp bats eighth, and Nola will bat ninth. And on the mound is Nathan Carnes, 19th start for Carnes. Also acquired, like Souza Jr. from the Washington Nationals. 4-5, 3.63 ERA.
And scouting report tops out at 93 miles an hour. Average velocity 91.6. And his control has been much better over the last 13 games. Only 22 walks compared to the first 5 games, 16 walks.
Odubel Herrera will lead it off. Herrera has hit in 6 straight games. He's working on 11 days rest. Don't know whether that will affect him adversely or not. But there are a number of guys, because of the All-Star break, that are probably getting some extended rest. They appeal. No swings to Scott Barry, and it's 2-0.
Well, then as Phillies hitters, you should be patient. You get into 2-0, take some pitches. Sometimes having 11 days off, you're a little too strong and have a hard time finding the strike zone.
And speaking of the strike zone, Ted Barrett, the home plate umpire, usually has a pretty good strike zone.
One of the best.
Swing and a miss. Not a bad pitch to hit. 2-1. This is a younger crew, with Barrett being the senior member. Three balls and 1 strike to Herrera. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Nancy Pacho of Chalfont. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. The Nance will win $200. That's our third Chalfont representative last week or so. Inside, ball 4. They appeal, no swing, and Odubel was already a quarter of the way up the line anyway. A leadoff walk, and here comes Freddie Galvis. There was a good period of the season when Galvis was hitting well, where Ryan Sandberg had him in the number 2 spot in the order. But his last time hitting second was back on June 2nd. And overall, this is the 32nd time he has batted second for the Phillies.
And I honestly believe that they did the right timing of getting him out of the second hole and getting him down in the deep in the order, taking the pressure off him, not thinking that he had to do so much at the 2 hole. He relaxed a little bit. Now he's found his swing and back to hitting 271 again.
Breaking ball in there. It's 1-1. Now, whether he stays here or not, Pete Buchanan said, listen, it's a day-to-day thing. Ben Revere has tonight off. And Hernandez is batting third because Maikel Franco has his first night off. So Hernandez most likely will stay in the 2 hole.
Yeah.
Breaking ball wide. It's 2-1.
And I think, honestly, Hernandez is a very good 2 hole hitter. He handles the bat very well. He bunts. The only thing I would like to see is instead of laying down a bunt the first pitch, allow the guy to have a chance to steal second base.
And then maybe butt him over to third.
Exactly.
That one's hit high in the air to right center field. Going back on it is Souza Jr. Back to the wall. It is caught right at the fence. And Herrera was just planted over at first base because he figured it was either gone or it was going to be caught. And there's one away. You want to talk about just missing it.
It kind of looks like he hit it right on the upswing. Head out front just a little bit. Still a pretty good swing. Foot down early, head down. Just caught it on the upswing.
Souza Jr. did a really nice job, too. He looked back a couple of times to see where he was. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream. Sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Cesar hitting .280. Home run. 23 runs batted in. On base percentage is at .365, which is tops among Phillies hitters. Runner goes. Pitch is sliced foul. Check swing.
The curveball has actually been Nathan Karn's bread and butter pitch this year. Legs hitting 188 versus the curveball. You see the last couple pitches that he's thrown with the curveball. It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good curveball, 12-6. He throws it hard.
Goes and then stops. The pitch is swung out and missed, and there are 2 outs. So Hernandez strikes out. Ryan Howard's coming up.
Elevated fastball. Trying to foul it off, trying to protect. Mad at the helmet.
Bad helmet.
Bad helmet.
There are guys that go through dozens of helmets a year. There's Ryan Howard, who has 16 home runs, 48 runs batted in. And Howard lines one straight out towards center field. Kiermaier will make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left after a leadoff walk. Aaron Nola due to get back to work when we return. Fans 14 and under can run the bases. Brought to you by Nemours. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. We begin the top of the second. Logan Forsythe leads it off. Forsythe was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs last night in the Phillies' victory in Game 1. Phillies have won 4 straight out of the All-Star break. in there, and it's 2-1. Matt touched on Aaron Nola's walk to strikeout ratio. 28 walks and 137 strikeouts in his minor league career, which has spanned a little over 400 days. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, says Ted Barrett. He didn't need any help on that. It's 2-2. His strikeout rate is 21%. That's high.
Yes.
And that's down in the minor leagues, of course, but that's high for a minor league pitcher. And his walk rate is 4%, which is way low for a minor league pitcher. 2-2 pitch. Curveball hit toward third, gobbled up nicely by Blanco. Now, because of all the movement he gets on his fastball, Matt, would you perceive him being more of a ground ball pitcher? Or is that yet to be determined?
It's late. I mean, it's too early to be determined. I mean, he's up in the zone with his fastballs. He's throwing 94 miles an hour fastball, so he's going to get a lot of jam shots. I think when he throws his changeup and that two-seamer down the zone, I think he's going to be about 50-50.
Here's Kiermaier. Kiermaier had 2 hits last night, both extra base hits, and he swings at the first pitch. Freddie Galvis is a long run. So does Blanco, and Blanco says he has it. Hey, there are 2 away. Well, just as we say that, he's got a ground ball and a pop out for the first 2 outs. There's Michael, who has started every game since his recall from the minor leagues. He's laughing at the replay of Blanco getting under that. He's got a sore elbow. He said he can pinch hit. He was in good spirits today. He felt like he just needed a day, maybe 2. Pete McCadden said with the off day on Thursday, they may not play him tomorrow afternoon. They did say that he was planning on giving him either today or tomorrow off anyway. So this was before he came down with the tender elbow. Curveball floated out toward right center field. Here comes Dominic Brown. He dives and he can't hang on. It kicks off the heel of his glove. And that'll be a base hit. So Jake Elmore has a hit.
Dominic had a pretty good jump. I thought there was no chance. Hit him right in the heel. Right there on the glove.
So a base runner now for Rene Rivera, who didn't play last night, hitting 181 on the year. Curveball right there, 0-1. It's funny, the things you learn as you go along. We thought in spring training, at least I thought, that it was a slider, not a curve. Joe Jordan said today, he said, no, it's always been a curve.
I thought it was a curve in spring training, and like I talked about it earlier, for him to repeat that curveball, it could be tough, just because of the way his hand gets under the baseball at times because of the arm angle. He really has to concentrate on getting that hand on top of that ball when he throws the curveball.
No balls, 2 strikes, runner at first. Got him. Rupp hangs on to the foul tip. 3 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left here in the second. 2 comfortable innings for Aaron Nola. He's thrown 29 pitches through the first 2. He has 3 strikeouts. And we'll go to the bottom of the second here at Citizens Bank Park, much to the happiness of the narrow Aaron Nola family. Champion Carly Lloyd will be live in the Bob studio. Plus, the Bob crew will be talking about Aaron Nola's debut with Kevin Cooney. Rise and shine with Bob tomorrow morning over on the Comcast Network. Send your questions to Bob at TCN. Oh, Andres Blanco is doing a little teaching in between each inning. Cody Ashley takes up high, 1-0. Maybe he was just telling him how he got under that foul pop. Maybe he was saying, listen, that's usually the shortstop's ball, but I got there first.
Spanish lessons.
Yeah. Oh, you think that's what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Ashley takes upstairs again, 2-0. Cody, 244, 5 homers and 13 runs batted in. He's been off the last couple of days as a starter. And it's 2-1. Up toward the Hall of Fame club. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, with that conversation as well between Blanco and Nola, a lot of it had to be with, you know, what kind of range do you have on a bunt? You know, how far do you think you can get over?
There's ball 4. Second walk issued by Carnes. That'll bring Dominic Brown to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, as it seems like often this year, every couple of days, we're talking about a little bit of tweaking to the Phillies roster, and that's what happened again last night. After last night's win, the Phils made a couple of different moves to the 25-man roster. Of course, Aaron Nola was brought up. Last night's starter, David Buchanan, after the win, he went 6 1/3, got the win, but sent back down to AAA to continue pitching on a 5-day rotation. In his place, the team announced that Jerome Williams, coming back off of injury, has been reactivated. He will pitch on Friday night for the Phillies. We talked about it last night. Chad Billingsley also hurting a little bit of pain in that flexor tendon in his elbow. He has been placed on the 15-day disabled list. The good news is they said no structural damage for Chad Billingsley, so that certainly is good news. And of course, Aaron Nola activated on the 25-man roster after last night's game as well. So a bunch of different moves continuing to tweak, and the way the pitching matchups will set up for this weekend. Now you'll have Jerome Williams pitching on Friday night, Tom, and then on Saturday you'll have Cole Hamels, and then Sunday is still up for grabs, but presumably it'll be Aaron Nola in that 5-day spot. So we'll wait and see on that, but that's how it's going to shake out for the weekend, guys.
Yeah, the off days have caused them to rethink David Buchanan. They want to make sure that he's on his normal day rest. So that's the big reason why. And David handled it great last night. Obviously there were things said to him during the meeting that he did not share as he goes back to Lehigh Valley, but he can feel good about his 2 outings since he came back up. 2 balls, 1 strike. Adam Morgan will start tomorrow. Shift on the right side for Brown, and he fouls it off the mask of Rene Rivera. It's 2-2.
And touching up on with David Buchanan last night, I was very impressed how after the second inning he went in and said he watched some films and realizing that he was jumping too much, he needed to stay back. And I don't think I've ever heard that before, or at least have the pitcher admit that he would need to watch films. But he definitely made the adjustment, and I thought last night was the best changeup I've seen him throw in 2 years.
Yeah, so much at your disposal. I guess why not use it if you can?
Yep.
2-2 to Dominic Brown with a runner at first here at the bottom of the second. He fouls it back. Dominic's got 103 plate appearances this year without a home run. This will be at 104. Pulls it foul. Look out, Murph. And it remains 2-2. Murph, who's telling you to reach out there for the ball?
People who have never been hit by a line drive. I know when to bail.
That's right. And lower your head from that half net.
That's right.
Off the hands, back toward the sweet level. That's a really protective net right there. Plus, you can take photos if you want to over top of it.
I just hide behind it.
Is your pen protected down there too?
Yes.
All right, good. Chopper foul. There you go. Try that one. No, a little too far. Yeah, top of your dome though, still not protected. Major League Notebook's well protected though.
Always got to keep that underneath the net. I'll hit the ground if I have to.
You know, if you grab that stool behind you and put it down one seat or one step, you'll be all right.
2-2 pitch, and that's a liner out toward right center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Ashley's around second, heading to third. Kiermaier's throw to third is in time. 9-pitch at bat. The 9th outfield assist of the season for Kiermaier. And the putout goes 8-5 at third.
I wasn't sure if he had a chance, but he came in very good. Like full speed, one stride, with an absolute strike to get Cody Ashley at third base.
You're not supposed to make the first or third out at third base, but I think the Phillies want their base runners to go first to third, or at least attempt it.
You got to be aggressive.
Brown is back without a tag. That's 9 outfield assists, by the way, for Kiermaier.
And Tom, that's what I was just about to say. But you have to realize who has a strong arm and who doesn't have a strong arm in the outfield. And coming into the game, he has 8 assists. You might want to break it down.
He has 9, and Souza Jr. has 8 in right field. The 9 lead the American League. The 8 now are second.
Well, I see why, because he came in full speed. Transfer was very nice.
I didn't think the throw would be on line because his mechanics were off. His body was coming toward the infield, toward the first base bag, but he threw to the third base bag.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes to Blanco. Making his 6th start at third base.
He comes in, just a quick feat. How quick he can turn around and get everything pointing towards third base and throwing a strike.
That one sliced foul off the tarp. Got a piece of him. With a count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, he hits Blanco, and that puts runners on first and second. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD and over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. So one away, runners on first and second, and Cameron Rupp, hitless in his last 8 at bats, is coming to the plate. Fastball in there, 0-1. Nathan Carnes hails from the same high school that produced former #1 pick Ben Grieve, and produced former #1 overall pick Todd Van Poppel.
Oakland A's.
Remember the big hoopla with following Todd Van Poppel?
Oh, I played with him.
Did he deserve the hoopla?
He was a big leaguer, so I'll say yes.
Everybody kept saying he was the next Nolan Ryan when he was coming out of high school. Foul ball, and that one got a piece that looked like it Rupp's back foot. But it remains 0-2.
Van Poppel, if you want to talk about a pitcher that worries about mechanics and has to be perfect, like his leg had to come out at the same time, his hands separated, everything. Oh my Lord, he was 6'6", and he. What's Smitty say?
Yeah.
Through.
That is what he said. Runner leads off first and second. Swing and a miss. Got him out front. That's the curveball Matt was talking about in the first inning, how good it is or can be. And there are 2 outs, and here comes Aaron Nola.
Very good curveballs. Tight rotation. And he, as well as this gentleman right here, they add and subtract on the curveball as well.
Two for 7 in the minor leagues as a hitter. He did not hit at all during his time at LSU. They had enough of those. Two RBIs down in the minor leagues. He's only sacrificed 1 time, which he will not be doing here. With the count 0-1, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. His brother Austin, he's the hitter. He's hitting over 300 for the Marlins AAA affiliate in New Orleans. In fact, his brother is playing right now, and he asked everyone to hold off texting him anything at all about tonight's game, because he's got it recorded and he's going to go back and watch it after the game, and he wants to watch it uninterrupted. Doesn't want to know anything that happened. Austin was a 5th rounder after being an All-American at LSU, like his younger brother. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners lead off first and second. High fastball, cut on and missed. 3 strikeouts for Carnes. Phillies leave a couple here in the second. We've played 2. We'll move to the third. No score. the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, Matt, on November 18th, 1997, the Phillies traded shortstop Kevin Stocker to the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays for what player? Answer will be revealed a little later on. This player, by the way, went on to put up some of the best numbers the Phillies have ever seen. It was a steal. No offense to Stock. We love him. But it was a steal for the Phillies. Well, it's time now for our Geico quote of the day, and it's on Aaron Nola on his goals. I just want to be the best that I can be. I just want to go out there and give it everything that I have. Give it the old college try. Every time I step in between the lines, try to keep the team in the game and give us the best chance to win. He does not say a whole lot, but he does seem to be rather competitive, but rather relaxed. That ball's hit well, deep to left field. Ashe going back toward the wall. It is gone. A home run for Nathan Carnes, the opposing pitcher. And it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. It's the first hit of the year for the Rays pitching staff.
Well, I think it's safe to say he had a game plan.
I guess so.
This is actually a very good swing. Fastball down inside.
Well, I don't think anybody expected that, except for Nathan Carnes. Here's Jaso, who doubled his first time up. He takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. He's right. Well, the last time the Rays had a pitcher hit a home run is Esteban Yan, and yeah, he's going downstairs to take a look at that. Fastball in there. It was only his 4th career, I should say his 6th career AB. Outside, and it's 3-1. Outside corner, 3-2.
I mean, Carnes hit that ball like he knew what he was doing.
Absolutely did. He went hunting for a fastball.
You got it.
Ground ball to first. Ryan Howard has it. 3 unassisted, 1 away. And Steven Souza Jr. is coming up.
That shows the confidence right there and knowing how good your changeup is. Throwing a 3 balls, 2 strike changeup.
First career strikeout for Aaron Nola was Steven Souza Jr. So who was your first career strikeout against? Souza Jr. of Tampa. Oh yeah, who'd you give up your first home run to? Nathan Carnes. Who?
Exactly, the pitcher.
0-1.
I didn't mean exactly. I mean, as you think you're going to give a home run up to one of your big boppers.
Right. That one's fouled. It's 0-2. Nola had 14 wins during his time in the minor leagues, 10 this year. His ERA with Lehigh Valley was 2.43 before his last start, and that's when it jumped up to 3.58. Popped him up. Rupp back to the screen, out of room. Youngest Phillies pitcher to make his major league debut since Gavin Floyd did it. I kind of forget that Gavin was younger than 22 when he made his major league debut in 2004. Phillies won it 8-1. 7 innings, 1 earned run. He was outstanding that day.
I thought he was going to be around for quite a while.
I did too. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it with a curve. Boy, he's had a very nice curve tonight. That's 4 strikeouts.
This is the perfect location. Getting on top of the curveball, tight break. And we talked about it earlier, Tom, about you throw some curveballs harder than others. Well, that was the harder curveball right there and didn't break as much.
Now Evan Longoria, who struck out on fastballs his first time up, and then the curve at the end. Starts him off with a fastball low, and it's 1-0. Noah was a gifted pitcher at LSU. Tremendous baseball program. In fact, his home stadium, called Alex Box Stadium, the new one, held a little more than 10,000, and it was pretty packed most times. Ground ball softly to third. Blanco has it. Long throw in time. Side is retired. Well, a nice bounce back after allowing a home run to the opposing pitcher. Nathan Carnes, his first major league home run. He had been 0 for 2 this year. 0 for 5 coming in, and it's 1-0 Tampa. To love it at McDonald's with a double cheeseburger and small fry for just $2.50. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Hello with Matt Stairs, Greg Murphy, and 20 of Aaron Nola's family and friends. And a nice crowd for his first major league start. Ashburn Alley is bustling tonight. We go to the bottom of the third, and Odubel Herrera will lead it off. Phillies have had base runners the first 2 innings against Nathan Carnes, the home run king. But they have not scored. There's a curveball. It's high, 1-0. Curveball in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fanatic just kick it back, enjoying the game with everybody else. What did he just say? Trying to get that guy riled up. Odubel stays alive. I just went back to look at Nate Carnes' minor league totals too as a hitter. He had one hit. That was it. It was in Harrisburg when he was with the Nationals. Out towards center field. Kiermaier was playing that way, and he makes the catch, and there's one away. Hey, a reminder that August 15th here at Citizens Bank Park, it's the 2015 Jekyll and Hyde Tour by Zach Brown. It features the special guests, the Avett Brothers. For information or to purchase tickets, go to Phillies.com/country for more information. Going back to look at Carnes' numbers at Texas Tech. Yeah, he never batted. I just wanted to see if there was a swing in there somewhere, because that swing did not look like the swing of a guy who was 0 for 6 in the, or 0 for 5 in the majors, and 1 for 30 in the minor leagues. And the bat flip really didn't look like it was a guy that had never hit before.
Totally knew what he was doing.
1-0 pitch to Galvis. Inside, 2-0. Here we go. Ready?
Head down, barrel, and the little bat flip.
I got this. Two and one to Galvis. Galvis flied out to the fence in right field his first time up. Up high, 3-1. And a liner out toward right field. Going back on it is Souza Jr. It is off the top of the wall. Galvis hustling to second base, and he'll get there sliding. A one-out double.
Nice swing by Freddie Galvis. Does a nice job of getting his hand on top. Pitch up in the zone. Getting on top of it. Using that top hand, rolling over. I like getting the foot down early and being aggressive. Do you think this throw was offline? Because that young man in right field has a cannon as well.
All right, so Galvis is in scoring position. He's the second player to get into scoring position for the Phillies. Hernandez is up. Hernandez struck out his first time up. Takes a breaking ball. It's a bit low. 1-0. Last night, the Phillies had a good night with runners in scoring position, and over the 4 games so far since the break, they're 12 of 33, hitting .364.
Well, what I was impressed with last night was all 5 runs, 2 outs. They're getting those the 5 runs, getting 2 out knocks.
Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
I guess I should say, sorry, Tom, I should say 4 runs came on knocks. The other one was a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Right. I talked to Frank Gore about that today. I said, were you just thinking, all right, the pitcher's up, I got to make something happen? He said, well, I was thinking, yes, I want to make something happen. He said, but I want us to do more of that. He said, you get a good secondary lead, the ball goes 5 or 6 feet away. I think you got to take that chance. He said, not because I made it. He said, I just think you have to take that chance. Foul ball. It's 2-2.
Especially at first and second on a secondary lead. They kind of teach in spring training that you anticipate the ball being in the dirt. The problem is a lot of people, when they take their secondary lead, they're watching the catcher as they do in the secondary lead, and they're not following the ball in and following the flight of the ball. And that's why a lot of balls are in the dirt. And I was guilty of it as well. So as soon as it leaves his hand, you watch the ball, you watch the flight, you can determine if it's going to be in the dirt. Goaltenders. Catchers are taught to block the ball, not try to catch it.
Same concept.
Exactly.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Hernandez. Bit outside, 3-2. Barnes is trying to sneak that one to the outside part of the plate. One nothing Tampa Bay, thanks to the home run by Nathan Cards. And Hernandez lines it just foul. Boy, he does not pitch inside.
Not a lot. He doesn't.
That one's pulled to the right side. Galvis will go over to third, but Hernandez is retired. So there are 2 outs, runner at third, and Ryan Howard's coming up. It's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag #PhillyPhotoDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
You're getting good at that now, Tom.
I got it going.
I thought you weren't good at it before.
No, I will.
But you're a lot quicker now.
First time I saw it, I said, that's not going to come out smooth.
Can you imagine me trying to say it?
Plenty of photos, though, are coming in. We'll start showing them next week. Howard waves at a curveball, and it's 0-1. Ryan's hit in 6 straight. 10 RBIs in his last 9 games. Toyota Major League Scoreboard, Justin Turner has hit a solo home run for the Dodgers. However, the Braves lead it 3-2. That game's in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Dodgers lead in the West is 3.5. The Braves are 7 back in the East. Howard fouls it back. Galvis is at third base. So important for Rivera to keep it in front of him because Galvis is getting a pretty good secondary lead off third. Longoria is trying to keep him close. As Howard tops that one toward the Phil's dugout.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of what Longoria is doing at third base.
I agree.
He's standing there, he's tapping his glove. Then as Nathan is winding up, he's moving and his body's going to the left.
Fly ball, foul territory, left field line. Longoria toward the tarp, and he makes the catch. And the side is retired. Phillies threaten but do not score. They leave a man over at third. We've completed our first 3 innings. We'll go to the 4th with the Rays up 1-0. cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who? But WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP. Look outside at Ashburn Alley, just above the bullpens in right center field. Folks coming out tonight to see Aaron Nola's debut. We showed that graphic during the open. He's the 3rd top 10 pick from last year to make it to the big leagues. There's Loney, who leads it off, and he takes a changeup for a strike. It's 0-1. I do believe we have some precipitation in the area. That's what you would call a renegade storm. Fastball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Folks are heading toward cover. Got blue skies out to the left.
Yeah, but you know what, Tom? It's a good day to be a hitter if you're left-handed. Look at those flags.
Right now it is, yeah. High chopper toward first. Howard will wait for it. Loney got a late start, and it's an easy play. 1 out here in the 4th. And here's Logan Forsythe. Oh, yeah, this is a renegade storm. They may have to cover it pretty soon. Dad is going to stick it out. Cover your beer up. Oh, no. All right, AJ. He's from Louisiana. It probably rains a lot down there. Foul ball, and it's 0-1. See, it's clear right there, Matt. We just need that to come over the ballpark. Oh, yeah. That one's in there. 0-2.
Always looks a lot worse on TV. They always say it adds 10 to 15 pounds to people. It always looks worse the rain suit.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Forsythe. Hit out towards shortstop. Backhanded by Freddie Galvis. Got to put a little more sugar on that throw, though. And there are 2 outs. Well, Matt, the last 5 Phillies pitchers to make their debut a year after they were drafted. Pat Combs was the last one back in 1989. That's where he made his debut. His pick was 88. Bruce Ruffin, Mark Davis. Went on to be a Cy Young Award winner, not with the Phillies. Alan Bannister, John Stearns. There were 2 different drafts back then, so that's why they came up. They both came up that year. Here's Kiermaier. He popped out. His first time up. And a liner out toward left. Cody Ashe battling the wind, and the line drive makes the catch, and the side is retired in order. The first 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Nola. Cody Ashe committed, says, I got it. Uh-oh, maybe I don't. Yeah, I do. And he reels it in, leaping high in the air to take us to the bottom of the 4th. JeffersonChedealer.com, and by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. Well, you see the storms in different pockets. The stadium is covered to your right a little bit, and then all of a sudden it disappears. The rain is falling lightly right now, but it has cleared up, and the tarp is still covered down the left field line, but the grounds crew is standing by.
That is an amazing shot right there.
Isn't it incredible?
I mean, when you're a freak with weather like I am.
You're a weather freak.
Oh, big time.
Cody Ashley leads it off, and Ashley waves at a changeup, and it's 0-1. That's why we call Matt Storm Chaser. That one's pulled foul. The wind is still whipping, though. It's coming in from left center field right now. Outside and high, 1-2. These temperatures, which were in the high 90s for the last several days, it's supposed to break up, and this could be the system that breaks it up. So let's get a little more comfortable the next few days. 1-2 pitch in the air down the right field line. The wind is going to kick it foul, way foul. I don't know if it would have stayed fair if the wind was straight up and down, if it was just, not moving at all. But
I don't know, but very nice swing, quick bat. I think you're right, Tom. He hooked it a little bit. I don't know, though. It's a pretty strong wind up there right now.
Fastball, and he's down looking. Fourth strikeout for Carnes, who's been very good here tonight. And with one out, Dominic Brown's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. We'll give you an update on Chase Utley, who, of course, is battling back from that ankle injury. Pete Buchanan talked about it today. They said at this point, no real timetable for his return, probably sometime after the next road trip, which would be in about a week and a half. But certainly good news today before the game, as Chase Utley was out on the field, and he was taking some ground balls out there at his normal position at second base, and looked like he was moving around pretty good, able to flip the ball over to turn the double play, and then even better, a couple of minutes later, running the bases, going from first to third, and looked like he was moving pretty well. So both of those very good signs for Chase Utley, but it'll still be a couple of days before we see him back, and probably at a rehab assignment as well. But good news for Chase Utley today as he, for the second straight year, gets word that he's been awarded the 2015 Phillies Heart and Hustle Award winner. It honors active players who demonstrate a passion for the game, embodies the values, the spirit of the games, the traditions of the game, and he got honored, and they'll pick one in Major League Baseball. That award will be announced in November. So Chase Utley, the Phillies representative for that, the Heart and Hustle Award. And guys, he embodies certainly that award. When you think of Heart and Hustle, you first think of Chase Utley when you're talking about the Phillies. So hopefully back on the field real soon.
Yeah, I think Major League Baseball could just give it to him every year.
Yeah, they certainly could.
Andres Blanco takes outside, 2-1.
It's nice seeing Chase taking ground balls to second base, running the bases. The big thing that he has to get over with that ankle injury is the rotation of swinging and hitting the baseball.
Ground ball over to first base, and Loney will take it to the bag. And the Phillies go down in order for the first time tonight. We've played 4. We'll go to the 5th inning here in Philadelphia. It's 1-0 Tampa on top. answer. All right, Matt, here we go. On November 18th, 1997, the Phillies traded shortstop Kevin Stocker to the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays for what player?
Bobby Abreu.
Bobby Abreu is correct. Phillies won that deal. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. As we move to the top of the 5th inning, Jake Elmore will lead it off. He's singled to right his first time up. First pitch is way outside. 1 ball, no strikes. All right, Matt. 51 pitches through 4. That's the first pitch here in the 5th inning. I guess as advertised, right around the strike zone.
Right around the strike zone, down the zone. Has the power to pitch up in the zone as well. Even though he gave a home run up to Carnes, so what? You know, that's a mistake. He could throw that there again, and he'll probably swing and miss.
Chopper left side. All right, so 3 pitches in this inning, 51 through 4. And 54 with 1 out here in the 5th. Not too shabby. There you see the splits, 15 balls, 39 strikes. 7 ground ball outs.
Plus, he's got a very good tempo. He really does.
That's true. Rene Rivera takes low. It's 1-0. Outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. Rivera struck out his first time up.
I heard it's like all-time record. It's like hugging 70, but
yeah, there's that tempo. He gets it and goes. 2-2.
It's an unbelievable changeup right there as well.
Rivera, one of 3 catchers on Tampa Bay's roster. And he just asked for time as the wind kicked up.
It's that changeup right here. 2-1. Thinking it's a fastball. Bottom drop out.
Line drive out to left field. That'll drop in front of Ashe. So 1-out single. And that'll bring Carnes to the plate for the 2nd time. He's accounted for the run. Tomorrow night at 5, hear all about Aaron Nola's Major League debut with Michael Barkann, Phillies top sports writers on Philly Sports Talk. Presented by Comcast Business right here on Comcast Sportsnet. See the flags whipping around. Carnes homered his first time up. He's squaring here. And the pitch is low, 1-0.
Can't believe they're making him bunt.
I don't think it probably didn't cross his mind too. And he takes a strike right on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Folks wondering how long we might see Nola tonight. Pete Buchanan said, I don't know. He said he stretched out. He said if he's rolling along, he's going to keep on rolling along. He said, but you have to take into account it is his Major League debut. That one is bunted foul. It's 1-2. Although a lot of guys, and we don't know Aaron all that well, but a lot of guys probably expend a lot of energy with the adrenaline rush, nerves, He just doesn't look nervous at all.
He doesn't.
Sure, he is to a certain extent.
Why do you give him some more information and tell him where he'll go on the bunt? Because he's charging very hard at third base. Blanco.
Curveball, and he is down on strikes. 5 Ks.
Knee buckler. Whoop. Not hitting that one for a home run.
Well, 5 strikeouts to go along with 7 ground ball outs. The modern record, which is since 1900 for strikeouts by a Phillies pitcher in his major league in his debut, his Phillies debut, is 9. Curt Schilling in his Phillies debut struck out 9 in '87. Curveball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Jaso waves at it, 1-1. John Jaso hitting .367 tonight, coming into tonight against right-handed pitching. Missed May and June with an injury, and making his 10th appearance as a leadoff hitter for Tampa Bay. Should say Curt Simmons. In 1947, he had his debut with 9 strikeouts, not Curt Schilling. One-two pitch.
I'd like to see one of those real good changeups. So Jaso last night pinch hit. Buchanan threw him 3 changeups. First pitch you saw in this at bat was a good changeup way out in front of it.
And a liner out toward right field. That'll drop in for a hit. Rivera stops at second. So for the first time tonight, the Rays have runners on first and second with 2 men down. And that's their 5th hit. Quick conversation between Rupp and Nola.
Tom, the only reason why I was saying about a changeup in that situation, curveball he was hooking out in front of the dugout. 2-seam fastball he was out in front of as well. So you pull the string, means he's going out there trying to get the ball.
Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Souza has struck out twice. He's gotten him looking and he's gotten him swinging. And he's done it with a mixture of fastballs and curveballs. That was a changeup that floated low. Two balls, no strikes. Fly ball foul. That'll slice out of play. I think Steven Souza maybe cracked his bat on that one. Got some LSU fans in the house tonight. Two and two. Tigers take their lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes here at the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss. He got him for the 3rd time tonight. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left, and a few high fives. Strikeout number 6 for Aaron Nola. A mixture of fastballs, curveballs, and how about a changeup? That's what got Steven Souza Jr. And that'll take us to the bottom of the 5th inning. A little elation from the Nola family. The Atlanta Braves, 3 of those games will feature the alums. Friday, July 31st is when Pat Burrell will be inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. Saturday, the 1st, is Alumni Night. And then Sunday, August 2nd, is the Wall of Fame Fathead, free to all fans. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. It's the 30th, 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Cameron Rupp, Aaron Nola, top of the order for the Phillies. First pitch is low, 1-0. Matt, is it his curveball that's causing the most problems tonight, you think?
Yeah, it seems like he's keeping the hitters off balance. I mean, his fastball is getting on a lot of the hitters.
There's a line drive to center. Kiermaier dives, and he made the catch. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted it to sit, but it stayed up there long enough for him. There's 1 out. They've had 2 baseballs that they've hit, one by Howard and that one there that was right on the nose to the center fielder.
This is just a very good play. That ball doesn't get off the ground by much. The initial jump by Kiermaier coming in there and making a very nice diving catch. I thought he had no chance off the bat.
Here's Nolan, his 2nd Major League AB, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. All right, now this is where the Rays are different this year even than when Joe Madden was the manager. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Nola. There's 1 out in the 5th inning. Carnes is about to turn the lineup over for the 3rd time, and they've got bullpen action. This is what they do.
Amazing.
There's a line drive, base hit into center field. Aaron Nola's first major league hit happens in his major league debut. A single to center, a 1-out base hit.
That's a nice swing right there. Steps in the bucket just a hair. Throws the hands to the ball. Congratulations.
Yeah, kept it short and sweet. Boy, they do live and die with every pitch. pretty cool to watch. So Nola's aboard. Odubel Herrera is up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Now, whether you agree with this or not, the Rays' theory is that the bullpen, a bullpen pitcher, is better suited to face the lineup when the lineup turns over to a third time than the starter. Now, I'm sure they don't do this with every starter. They don't do it with Chris Archer. They will eventually not do it with Matt Moore, I don't think. They eventually wouldn't do it with Alex Cobb when he comes back. But with some of the younger guys, they seem to be content to do it. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1 Odubel.
Well, it's interesting. Forget about trying to sign any free agents. Unless you have in your contract. That's ownership's idea, isn't it?
From what we've been told, yeah. Ownership and the front office. It's a combination thing. Chopper up the first base line. It's a fair ball. They'll go to second to try to get Nola. They got him, and Herrera I don't think ran. Odubel Herrera did not hustle right away, and that's why he was retired on the 3-6-3 double play. And quite honestly, he should not have been retired. Can't take things for granted. He's got too good a speed to allow this to ever happen. Phillies go down here in the 5th. We'll head to the 6th inning. Finished the first. Ben Revere struggled through April, improved in May, then took off through June and the start of July. Getting on base at the top of the lineup is important, and he did so, reaching an on-base percentage of .452 in July heading into the break. Once on base, he continues to cause problems with his feet. Ben's first half success is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Ben Revere doesn't get a chance to play, at least to start tonight. Nothing's wrong. He was just given a day off. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, I thought maybe he'd come in for Odubel Herrera after he didn't hustle up that first base line. Here's Evan Longoria to lead it off at the top of the 6th inning for the Rays. And he hits it toward first baseman Ryan Howard, who's the only one on that side of the diamond. That's perfect scouting right there, Matt. 3-1 on the putout. Only 74 pitches for Nola.
Well, I don't know. That's twice in the last 4 games. Didn't advance on the wall pitch to the backstop. Herrera not running down to first base. There's no excuse for it.
Yeah, and
one thing you can control in this game is your hustle.
James Loney's the batter, and Loney hits it off the end of the bat down the left field line, and it's foul, and it's 0-1. He gave out the Heart and Hustle Award. That guy said that he when I first talked to him when he first came up. He said, listen, the reason I dive everywhere and the reason I run everywhere is because I don't want to have any regrets after the game that I could have done something a little bit more to help my team win. That's Chase Utley that said that. Pop-up foul. That'll be out of play. It's 0-2. There he is. Odubel was a very gifted player. There's no question about that. That somebody will, if they haven't said anything to him already, somebody will say something to him. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Loney. Way upstairs, 1-2. Loney's grounded out twice to the right side. Takes a curveball wide, 2-2. Good changeup. Had him off balance with it.
Seems like that changeup's been his bread and butter pitch when he needs to throw it for a strike, or we saw early in the game with a lot of fastballs, but the fastball's not at 94 right now. Changeup has a lot more movement and is down in the zone.
Over toward the hole, backhanded by Galvis. He has time. 2 outs. Logan Forsythe is due up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, Tom. Well, a very exciting announcement. I know you're going to love this. I know Matt Stairs is going to love it. I'm not sure that Matt's ever been a part of Ask the Booth, but Ask the Booth is coming back, and it's coming back tomorrow during tomorrow's day game against the Phillies. You can ask any of us anything about baseball, about the team, or virtually anything else. All you have to do is like CSN Philly on Facebook, and then you can post your question there. Selected questions will be answered during the game. Tell me how excited you are, guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I thought you would be.
Matt has the Facebook.
I have Facebook, and I thought actually you were saying that we're going to bring butterscotch ice cream upstairs. I'm looking forward to it, Murph.
Yeah. Now, Matt, you didn't do it that at all last year, right?
No, we did not.
I didn't think so. You're going to love it.
I was a little disappointed.
Well, we saved all the good questions for this year for you.
2-0 pitched from Nola, and that's a foul ball. It's 2-1.
But just remember, when people ask questions, you will get the truth from me. And sometimes the truth might hurt.
That's why I never ask you anything.
I was wondering why you never talked to me in the room.
Forsythe is grounded out twice, once to third, once to short. And it's inside, 3-1. Up high, ball 4. Walk number 1 for Aaron Nola. And Kevin Kiermaier is coming up. Kiermaier's popped out to third. He's lined out to left.
Probably get some bullpen action here in a second. Even though he's at 85 pitches.
Up and away, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Rupp will head out. Rod Nichols just got up, and I believe he just answered the phone. He's got a clipboard, so somebody is going to start the throw. Bob McClure is going to head out to talk to the young right-hander. Luis Garcia is going to start tossing. Just give him a quick beat. According to Pete McCann, everybody should be available for tonight out of the bullpen. Giles did not pitch in last night's game.
I thought you might have seen Giles have another night off today.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I think
you have one more day of a day game tomorrow, then you have another off day.
Right. So the meeting is over on the mound. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. First major league pitcher to give up his first home run to another pitcher. That's Nerling Vasquez of Arizona. To Carlos Zambrano, who hit a lot of home runs. He hasn't been under any pressure here tonight except for the home run. That was it, but that was on the first pitch that he threw to Nathan Carnes. 2-0 pitch out toward right field. This should do it for the 6th inning. Dominic Brown is there, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Well, excellent work for Aaron Nola through 6 innings. He has scattered 5 hits so far. The only run he's allowed was a home run by Nathan Carnes. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Oh, in between innings, Bob McClure talking to Aaron Nola. Pete McCann comes over and gives him a handshake. So it seems like his night is going to be done. So his major league debut is in the books. 6 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run. But we'll wait for sure. Cameron Rupp comes over too. But I tell you, I don't know if you can ask for anything more. Now here's Juan Samuel talking to Odubel Herrera. This is what we expected was going to happen. And Sammy was going to have the conversation with him.
We knew there was going to be a conversation. Is it too late? I mean, he spent the whole inning up there knowing he did something wrong. If you want to set, anyway, nice outing by Nola.
No, but you're right. I mean, I think that you set a tone by either saying something right away, and he walked right over.
You do one thing.
Where you take him right out.
You take him out of the game.
Yeah.
He sits down there, and now he realizes that that'll never happen again. Instead of guys coming over and tap him on the butt, tap him on the shoulder, say, hey, no, you know better.
Well, here's Galvis, and the other storyline is that Steve Geltz will take over on the mound. So Nathan Karns done after 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 85 pitches. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tampa Bay has 47 wins this year. In 22 of their wins, they've used at least 4 relief pitchers. If you think that's high, it is. It's the most in Major League Baseball in victories. But it's a style that they've implemented, not with everybody, but with many of their pitchers. 2 balls, 1 strike to Galvis. Outside corner, 2-2. They've got 2 guys warming up now. They've got Xavier Cedeno and Kevin Jepson. Off the hands, out toward left center. It's going to hang up there. And Kiermaier cuts in front of Jaso to make the catch. 1 out. Now Cesar Hernandez. He bunts foul. It's 0-1. During the month of July, the Rays bullpen has an ERA of 4.82. It's part of the reason why they're 5-11 during the month of July. In fact, they've been trending higher as the year's gone on, from April, May to June, July. In June, their earned run average out of the pen was 4.18.
Maybe a lot has to do with overuse.
Could be.
You know, if you're going to the 5th inning on certain pitchers, you're relying on your bullpen to throw a lot of innings.
No balls, 2 strikes to Hernandez. He fouls it back. It remains 0-2. Back toward the middle, off the glove of Geltz. That's going to help him. Nope, it's not. Forsythe bobbled the ball. I think that's got to go down as an E4.
It's a line drive. Does a nice job of knocking it down. And Forsythe has lots of time, just a little too quick. It would have been very, very close. But got an error on it.
Well, they scored an E4, and now another pitching change. They're going to go to the left-hander, the veteran Xavier Cedeno, to face the Phillies lefties and Ryan Howard and Cody Ashe. So a pitching change by Tampa Bay here in the 6th inning, with 1 man down and a runner over at first. back here at Citizens Bank Park, the night Aaron Nola made his major league debut. He allowed 1 run over 6 innings. It seems like his night is done. Luis Garcia is warming up out in the bullpen. There's 1 out. There's Nola talking to Adam Morgan, who will start tomorrow's ball game. Ryan Howard will step in against Xavier Cedeno, the veteran left-hander in his 37th game, 1-1 with a 2.74 ERA. Howard is lined to center. He's popped out to third. He's got Cesar Hernandez over at first base. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Howard. Cesar has stolen 12 bags. Hasn't been as aggressive as he was during the end of June, beginning of July. Part of it is he hasn't really been on base that much. One ball and 1 strike, a breaking ball. Ryan hit a moonshot for his 350th home run the other day. Another throw by Cedeno. Well read by Cesar Hernandez. Just 3 hits tonight for the Phillies, but they've left 4. Cracks that one foul toward the Phillies dugout. 1-2 to Howard. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, we have an update from Atlanta, where the Braves lead the Dodgers 4-3. Nick Markakis, he homered yesterday. He's tripled today. 4-3, Atlanta on top of Los Angeles. Braves are still batting in their half of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. Howard strikes out, and they're 2 away here in the 6th inning. Well, speaking of the Dodgers, they will be here at Citizens Bank Park for the return of Jimmy Rollins beginning Tuesday, August 4th in a 3-game series that winds down Thursday, August 6th at 1:05. That afternoon, it's Moore's Kids Run the Bases after the game for fans 14 and under. And also the Citizens Bank Pride of the Phillies print featuring the Phillies mural, free to all fans. You can go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Cody Ashley stands in. Hernandez goes, pitches inside. Throw to second is there, and plenty of time. Well, I don't think we've seen Hernandez thrown out that easily. Rene Rivera made a heck of a throw. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We've played 6. On to the 7th inning. Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays. atmosphere. He came out firing strikes, Matt.
Well, he did. He had very good control of all the pitches. Very nice two-seamer. Deloney right there to get a weak ground ball. Being able to throw fastballs inside, tying the right-handers up. Throwing a very good curveball right there. Another one right there. And I thought he was very good tonight. Didn't look like he had a worry in the world tonight on the mound.
Well, he is done after 6 innings. So 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. He did pick up his first major league hit as well. 5 hits and 1 earned run. As we take a look at our Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary, Luis Garcia will take over. Jake Elmore will lead it off. He taps one right back to the mound. And it'll be a quick out for Luis Garcia, which means we can make a quick segue to Greg Murphy.
Well, they are having a real good time in Section 121, certainly the first 3 rows because, this is A.J. Nola. We've seen you guys all night, Stacy Nola, mom and dad of Aaron, and that had to be a lot of fun. Dad, take us through the emotions of watching your son out there on the mound for the first time in the big leagues.
Wow, I tried to zone in on every single pitch. First inning was a little tense with the double off the wall, but when he struck out Evan Longoria, I was fist pumping. It was great. I think he kind of got his feet wet in there, and then when he got those strikeouts, it was a big relief for us. It's been great. It's been fun.
We were watching a lot of you guys celebrating and living and dying with every pitch. And Stacy, it's you stop and think about this is not just Aaron's journey. This is a family's journey. I saw you talking a little bit earlier today about all of what you guys had to do to get him here, and so this has to be a special moment for the whole family.
It's very special. But he had an awesome night. Can't ask for anything more. He's worked hard. We've all worked hard, and it's finally paid off for him.
What'd you think of the ovation when he came out, and then when he got that first strikeout?
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. It was nice to get the first one out, and this has been awesome to get the first game out.
What I was so impressed with yesterday when I spoke with him is he said, I think I'll have a couple of butterflies when I first go out there. And it looked like maybe he did, as you mentioned, the double, but he settled down so quickly after that. And then he gets his first major league hit to boot. Did you know he could do that?
Well, he used to swing a little bit in high school, but it was funny because we told him in the hotel this morning. I said, man, you going to swing it tonight? He goes, yeah, I hadn't swung it since AA early on in the season. I said, well, it was awesome to watch him swing it. Two strike, hit 2.
Yeah, this game's easy sometimes, right? Well, congratulations. I enjoy the rest of the night, and I certainly will, and some lasting memories for sure. Congratulations to the family.
Thanks so much. It's been great. The fans have been super nice to us, so it's been a wonderful experience.
Well, welcome to Philadelphia for sure. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Aaron Nola sitting and watching, hoping for a little offense, Matt Stairs, as this game moves on. He's watched Luis Garcia get the first 2 batters, and now he'll face Joey Butler, a pinch hitter for Xavier Cedeno. Butler pinch hit in last night's ball game. Got him with a slider to start things off. It's 0-1.
I was kind of hoping that that interview was going a little longer because I can sit there and listen to those accents all day.
Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. You got something about accents, huh?
Huh?
You got something about accents, huh?
God.
They've seen a lot of good baseball during their lives with their boys. 1 ball, 2 strikes. $20 members of Nola's inner circle here tonight, friends and family. Off the end of the bat, foul. Baton Rouge, the home of LSU. One ball, 2 strikes to Butler. And he fouls it off to the right into the sweet level. Check swing. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire. Boy, I really thought he went on that one.
I'm with you, Tom. I thought he did as well.
Oh, no, he didn't.
He did not.
He did a great job holding up. I guess the hands going forward kind of threw us a little bit. It's full 3-2. You've got the lefty in the on-deck circle. Ground ball toward the middle, and Galvis can't get to it. And Butler has a base hit, a 2-out pinch hit single. These lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank. All right, so Joey Butler's aboard. John Jaso, who is 2 for 3 tonight. He's doubled. He's also singled. And he chops it over to Howard, and Howard will take it and backpedal to the bag. Side is retired. Good job by Luis Garcia. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. How about a little offense from the Phillies when we return in Philadelphia? Rain shower. Phillies hoping to get a little offense going here in the home 7th. HP's new series of color LaserJet printers deliver unmatched quality, and their Jet Intelligent toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who? The WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB. Luis Garcia, excellent job. Retired the Rays without any issues. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Brendan Geyer comes into the ball game to play left field, so Jaso leaves the ball game. A little extra defense out there for the Rays. Jake McGee will be the new pitcher. He's had a solid year across the board and a 1.31 ERA. Cody Ashley leads it off and takes low. The way McGee's numbers read, it didn't really matter if it was righty or lefty up there. His numbers were good.
Throws very hard. He'll top out at 97 miles an hour. 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball slider.
Broken bat, roller to third, gobbled up by Longoria, and one away. One out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Genmar Gomez warming up in the bullpen. And Dominic Brown's coming up. Dominic will be followed by the switch hitting Andres Blanco.
He's got such an easy delivery. Ball comes out of his hand, just pops in at 96.
That one's looped out toward left center. That'll drop for a hit for Dominic Brown, his second of the night. A 1-out single. Phillies have one extra base hit tonight. It was the double by Freddie Galvis. Nice job by fighting it off for Dominic.
And Dominic's looked better the last few games. And you might think I'm crazy, but he is getting close. As soon as he hits that first home run.
Well, I think everybody hopes that, Matt, including that guy right there.
Yeah.
Not Blanco, but Dominic Brown.
Well, Blanco does too, probably.
Blanco has been hit by a pitch. He's also grounded out to first. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Went after a little high cheese there at 95. I think McGee could close eventually if they want him to. And only because of his fastball, his swing and miss stuff. Popped him up. Shortstop Jake Elmore on the outfield grass puts it away for the second out. And Cameron Rupp is coming up. Cameron struck out his first time up, lined it sharply to center. If he gets on, Jeff Francoeur is going to come up as a pinch hitter. This is kind of what the Phillies were doing early on this year. No, not early on, but for most of the first half. Just not scoring a whole lot of runs. But over the 4 games since the break, 22 runs. And it even carried over to a lot of the games before the break. But 22 runs in the 4 games since the break, averaging over 5 per game.
Hammer time.
One and one to Cameron Rupp. Late on a fastball, and it's 1-2. 97 on that one. way upstairs. 2-2. Cameron 0 for his last 10. His one home run this year came against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Hit it into the Phillies bullpen. I never did ask him if he got that ball back. His first major league home run. I'm sure he did by now. It was held hostage for a few days, though. Really? By his bullpen mates.
And honestly, ever since he hit that home run, he's been in that mode of trying to hit more home runs. Where early in the season he was so good of hitting the ball to right field. And that's the scouting report as the way they're playing defense right now. Center fielders playing deep, opposite field. Get back to your strengths.
Brown goes. 3-2 is up high. Ball 4. So Francoeur will get a chance to pinch hit here. So he'll stroll to the plate, and he'll bat for Luis Garcia, who throws a scoreless 7th inning. .37 pinch hits this year for the Phils pinch hitters. That's second most. They're 6th in at bats and tops in batting average for pinch hitters. Francoeur's been a big reason why. Overall hitting .263. Takes a fastball. It's 0-1. Jeff, .263, 8 home runs, 31 runs batted in, but he's done a lot of damage, hitting over .360 when coming off the bench, either as a pinch hitter or as an extra man. Talked to him today. He said he's really enjoying every bit of it. Said he would love to stay in Philadelphia. He said even beyond this year. As Brown takes his lead off second. Rupp takes his lead off first. Phillies down 1-0. And now the 0-2 pitch coming to Francoeur. And he got him. 99 on that fastball. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left for the Phillies. We played 7 as we move to the 8th inning. The Rays lead at 1-0. Go wrong when you buy right. And buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Valle Honda dealer or visit DelValleHondaDealers.com. It's 1-0 Rays lead it as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Fanatic working his way through the crowd on the first base dugout. All right, Matt, it's time now for our defensive plays of the game, brought to you by Hyundai.
Well, it's going to be all about outfielders, and this is when a Renegade Storm came through and absolutely took that ball. Good adjustment by Cody Ashie making a nice leaping catch. And then Cameron Rupp hits a line drive to center field. Tremendous jump and tremendous diving catch. Center field, good concentration. Thought he had no chance when that ball came off his bat. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game. It's brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Jedmar Gomez will take over. 41st game for Gomez. Here's Steven Souza Jr., who's happy that Aaron Nola's gone, and he tries to bunt his way on and bunts through it against Gomez. Gomez's earned run average sits at 2.38 as he fades that one inside. Pete Buchanan did say that, well, we had speculated last night that he is trying to put him into more pressure roles because he's been good for them. That pitch right there, the sinker, said he really likes his changeup against left-handed batters, so he's comfortable with that. One ball, 2 strikes to Souza. Well, that's a good pitch. Ted Barrett has given the outside corner to the pitchers tonight. That one must have been just a hair off the outer edge.
Well, and it was also a very
quick
pitch. A lot of umpires won't get caught off guard with that one either. They won't give it to you.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside. That one ran too far out. 3-2. Evan Longoria is on deck for Tampa Bay. Got him. 4th time tonight that he has struck out. Overall, it's 8 strikeouts for Phillies pitching. 1 gone for Longoria.
Well, one of those nights where you think you're right on top of a ball and you're swinging over top of it. Underneath it, asking if it was a strike. It's one of those days.
Not pleased. You know, before he went on the disabled list, he was 2 for his last 31. Even though he leads the Rays in home runs, he's 2 for his last 35 now. Nola got him 3 times. And now Gomez has him once. Longoria takes a breaker for a strike, 0-1. Phillies half of the 8th inning. It'll be the top of the order. Herrera, Galvis, and Hernandez. 1, 2, and 3. Longoria looked like he was way out front of that 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
I like that foul ball goes off Ted Barrett and Cameron Rupp turns around and see if he's okay. At home plate umpire Ted Barrett used to spar. There was another quick pitch. Mike Tyson. He used to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. So I don't think a foul ball at the shin guard is going to bother him.
No. He's always got that stern look on his face.
When he first broke in the league, he was number 12 as an umpire. And I was 12. He gave me his umpire shirt. I said, I know I was going to get some good calls then. Good guy.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Longoria. Check swing and 3-2. James Loney waits on deck. Foul ball. So Longoria stays alive, 3-2. Jake Diekman with Loney on deck, although he looks like he's just starting to throw now. Another foul. That was Jepson, who was warming in the pen for the Rays. That guy could throw gas when he was with the Angels, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could.
Broke his bat. Again, it's Howard who's over there. He's the only one on that side. 2 outs. The only one. He's got to make the play. The Phillies' Wives Healthy Recipe Cookbook. It's called From Our Home to Yours. A collection of Phillies recipes is now available at the Majestic Clubhouse store, or by going to Phillies.com, or by calling 877-GO-PHILS. Proceeds benefit Phillies charities. It's $19.99. Tickets can be, or they can be purchased anytime, as we mentioned, online at Phillies.com. Loney is 0 for 3. A quick word from Freddie Galvis. Change up, down and away, 1-0. Cesar Hernandez will backhand and has plenty of time to throw Loney out. A 1-2-3 8th inning. 2 scoreless for the Phillies bullpen. The only run tonight by the opposing pitcher, a home run with his first major league hit. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0, Rays on top. And Kevin Jepsen will be next up for Tampa Bay. Jenmar Gomez, scoreless inning. Jepsen, 43 games, 2-5, 3.03 ERA. 31 strikeouts, 38 2/3. So here's Odubel Herrera. He's 0 for 2. He walked his first time up. He's grounded into a double play. He's also flied to center. And he fouls it back. It's 0-1. Jepsen at 96. There was a point where he was probably 100, right? When he was with the Angels?
Easily. He probably lived right around 98, 99, top out at 100. And it wasn't straight either. A little cut fastball to it.
Brad Boxberger is their closer. They have 38 saves as a team this year. No balls, 1 strike to Herrera. 0-2. It'll be Herrera, Galvis, and Hernandez against Jepsen. Well, it's worked out so far. They lifted their starter after 85 pitches, and he was in total control. Everybody does things differently, whether you agree with it or not. So far, it's worked out fine for the Rays. The 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler foul. Swing and a miss. And Rivera tags him out. So a strikeout and 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Freddie Galvis coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with the Major League Notebook.
All right, thanks, guys. Brought to you by St. Joseph's University. And the Kansas City Royals are sending down their opening day starter, Yordan Ventura, who signed a $23 million contract before this season, is headed down to AAA. He was just 4-7 on the season with an ERA above 5. He has really been struggling, so they decided to send him down and try to get him right. He was the hero, you guys will remember, in Game 6 of the World Series last year, where he pitched 7 scoreless innings for Kansas City, but just has never gotten on track this year, so he is headed down to AAA. And this constitutes as news in the Major League Notebook because of who it is. Mike Trout is missing his first game of the season tonight. Yeah, he has a sore heel. He says he's not even sure how he did it, but they decided to rest him tonight. Albert Pujols was supposed to get the night off, but he is in the lineup tonight because Mike Trout is not. That game gets underway in about 15 minutes out there in California. So Mike Trout missing his first game. He does expect to be back tomorrow, so nothing serious, but, you know, still newsworthy in the Major League Notebook.
Yes, so he DH'd earlier this week. Fans were upset about that. They wanted to see him play center field. And now he's got the night off. Imagine waiting all year to go see the Angels play.
One game you go.
One game you go. He's not in. 1-1 pitch to Galvis outside, 2-1.
You know, hats off to the Kansas City Royals for making that decision, because there's a lot of organizations that would not make that call.
Well, they figure they got to get him right to get him back up, I would think. Up high, 3-1. Galvis holds. They do appeal, no swing. So Scott Barry.
Freddie walked out of the batter's box, and I think Ted Barrett told him to get back in, and he turned around, took a big giant step in.
The man did spar with Mike Tyson.
That he did.
Galvis pulls it foul. Phillies looking for a base runner to get into scoring position. they've had 3 base runners get into scoring position tonight. That's it. He went around a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in the dirt. It was only in the dirt for a millisecond. And there are 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And Cesar's coming up. Tom Foley, the bench coach, is reminding the veteran James Loney and the veteran Evan Longoria to look out for the bunt, because Hernandez can bunt. They're protecting the line on the right side. No doubles defense. 1-0.
I mean, James Loney might as well be in foul territory at first base.
Pretty close to the line.
If there's a ball that can get past his left, you can hit the ball awful hard.
You may get double.
Boy, he has got some movement on that fastball, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, there's no way. That's taking.
You'd have to go with this.
Can you even do that? Out toward left center field. On the run is Kiermaier. He's got some room, and he does a little Soriano leap at the end to retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left. A 1-2-3 8th inning on to the 9th. If you had 1-0 Rays over the Phils, oh. Business person special of the season. Also, Citizens Bank Friday, the Phillies print featuring the Phillies mural. That'll be free to all fans. Plus, after the game, for fans 14 and under, it's Nemours Kids Run the Bases. Tickets can be purchased for that 3-game series anytime by going to Phillies.com. Well, Matt, here we are in the top of the 9th inning, and it's only 1-0 Tampa Bay. And the only run came on Nathan Carnes' first major league hit. It was a home run. How are you going to break that one down? Logan Forsythe will lead it off against Gomez. Strike on the outside corner. Diekman is warming up. Might be for Kiermaier. That'll be out of play. Boxberger in the bullpen. Balls and 2 strikes. Phillies half of the ninth. Howard, Ashe, and Brown. Those are the guys that are due up. That one's up the third base line and barehanded by Gomez, and he's going to pull Howard off the bag. He really had no other chance. An infield hit for Forsythe. And Kiermaier's coming up. Pete McCannon's coming up the stairs, and that will be it for Genmar Gomez. They'll bring in the lefty Jake Diekman to face Kiermaier. So the Phillies with a pitching change. Gomez goes an inning plus. He allows just the 1 hit. So the 4th pitcher used on the night for the Phils will be Jake Diekman when we return.
A home run from a pitcher back in the 3rd inning. His first major league hit happened to be a first major league home run. And right now it stands 1-0. I can't believe I'm saying this. That's why I said W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
That is his first professional hit. Minor leagues, major leagues, doesn't matter. And the last time a pitcher's home run was the only run of the game was Giovanni Gallardo for the Milwaukee Brewers in a 1-0 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Who can hit?
Oh, he can hit. Well, obviously Nathan Carnes can hit. We just didn't know it. So Diekman is on to face the left-hander Kiermaier. Kiermaier's hitless in 3 at-bats today. Block goes in on the grass at 3rd. Chopper to first, a foul ball, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Little flip over to first. A little bit of a quick pitch there. And a piece by Kiermaier, and it remains 0-2. Only 2 double play opportunities for Diekman, or 2 double plays and 38 opportunities for Diekman. He's got Forsythe over at first after the infield hit. Got him. Threw him a slider out of the zone, and Kiermaier was all wound up. And one out here in the 9th inning. And Jake Elmore's coming up.
This is a slider that backs up. There's one I think he's never caught up to his lower half. Whatever it was, it's a punch out.
Well, 2 1-2 ratings so far for the Phillies pitchers, one by Aaron Nola. And every time the Phillies do that, Comcast makes a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Elmore tonight is 1 for 3. The two teams have combined for 11 hits. The Rays with 7, Phillies with 4. Yeah, a lot more slide stepping going on for Diekman.
Yeah,
no big leg kick.
Yeah, it seems like it's helping him up quite a bit right now. You saw it once yesterday, the one hitter that he faced.
Off the hands, Howard in foul territory. And there are 2 outs. So Diekman needs to get Rene Rivera to set up the bottom of the 9th inning for the Phillies. On the bullpen so far, Garcia scoreless 7th inning. Jenmar Gomez a scoreless 8th inning, and then he's responsible for the base runner here in the 9th. And now Diekman, who's gotten the first 2 hitters he's faced.
That is very close to being a balk, not coming set. But I like the fact that he's very quick, and there's really no need to throw over to first base because he's being able to throw a slide step in there very quick and still hit 98 like the last pitch.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, Matt, is that he throws 98 and the ball gets right to the catcher. And if he doesn't have that big leg kick,
right,
Cameron Rupp should have an easier time to throw.
Yep.
0-1. 0-2.
And as a hitter, you step in there and you're facing a lefty or righty, doesn't matter, who throws 98 miles an hour, does a slide step. You feel like you have to cheat earlier to get to the fastball. That's why at 1, you're swinging at curveballs or sliders in the dirt. And 3, that's why you're looking for the slider, and he throws a fastball right down the middle.
97 miles an hour on that, so it sets up the bottom of the 9th inning for the Phillies. They've won 4 straight. Can they do it again? Jake Diekman and the rest of the bullpen, well, they make sure it's just a 1-run game as we go to the home 9th. Dependent on what happens here in the bottom of the 9th inning, only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post-Game Live. Phillies had a walk-off over the weekend against the Miami Marlins. That's Tim Beckham who will take over at shortstop. And he'll be in the leadoff spot. Brad Boxberger, who has 23 saves and 25 opportunities, despite the fact that he's allowed some base runners. The opposition only hitting .221 against him. They have 38 saves, Matt. That's tops in the American League. 38. He has 23 of the 38. It'll be Ryan Howard to lead it off. Aaron Nola made his major league debut tonight, went 6 innings. Nathan Carnes got his first major league hit, and that's the only run. It was a home run. He went 5 innings, was lifted after 85 pitches.
Tom, you talked about the saves for the Tampa Bay Rays. The last 2 pitchers that we've seen, Jepson and McGee, both could be closers as well.
Yeah, they can.
All these guys are throwing 97, 98. We saw 99 earlier, so.
Howard this evening is 0 for 3. Lined it out, popped out, struck out. Takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Beckham had been on the right side of the diamond, Longoria on the left, but now they switched them. Everybody deep all the way around to try to cut off any extra base hits for Howard. Here's Beckham. Tom Foley making sure the defense is aligned properly. 1-2 is a high fastball, and Howard strikes out. 9 strikeouts for the Rays pitching staff.
Fastball out of the zone. Throwing that hard up in the top of the zone. Very tough to, 1, make contact, but 2, put it in play.
So Ryan Howard's retired. Ashe has walked tonight. He has struck out, grounded out to third. They play him to pull also. Fouls it back. Boy, he got a good swing earlier when he hit one foul, a home run foul. Down the right field line, playable for Souza Jr. at the moment, and he makes the catch at foul territory, and there are 2 outs. Oh, this is remarkable. I mentioned Giovanni Gallardo the last time a pitcher's home run accounted for the only run in a 1-0 victory. That was in 2009 when the Brewers beat the Pirates. The Phillies have never lost a game 1-0 when the only run was by the opposing team's pitcher. Dominic Brown is the last man standing in the way of that. Way out in front. It's 0-1. And again, they play with 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. Well, he's right over the top, and it's just zipping along the knees there. And it's 0-2.
Well, that's a lot harder than 94 miles an hour.
It's pretty free and easy.
Yeah, it is.
Nathan Carnes went the first 5. He stands to be the winner. He just pat himself on the back. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to first. This should do it. Loney's got it. And how about that? The Phillies in Aaron Nola's major league debut lose it by a final score of 1-0 And the first time in franchise history they've lost a game